community goes, one thing that's lacking in the black community, me being a black man, is I want to say togetherness. I want to say camaraderie amongst your fellow cohabitors inside of a community, neighbors, be it whatever. One of the issues I find in the black community is that we don't stick together. We don't work with each other. We don't trade goods amongst each other. Back in the day, we used to. Back in the day, we were more dependent on each other as black people to, quote unquote, move the ball up, move the ball, further up the field there. I feel like for all of what's going on now since, hell, I would even say 2010, probably that far back, but all of what's going down in 2020, 2021, a lot of it is virtual signaling. A lot of it is distraction from what we should really be paying attention to. I had a episode maybe 2-3 weeks ago where we talked about the coronavirus. I feel as though a subject of that nature should have way more attention on it, but I also feel as though a subject of race is becoming a problem for our nation. People tend to turn on each other when they have no common enemies. So we create our own enemies. Now, as far as police brutality, that's always been a thing in the black community. I feel as though with that 75% segregation, we didn't hire young black men to police their own neighborhoods. I feel as though that would decrease the cop murders in black neighborhoods and also increase the more respect for officers in the black community. Now, again, when you have a people that are pretty much raised to say fuck the cops, and people that's pretty much raised and told not to trust any police, I would argue this: if you're getting pulled over by the cops and you so happen to be black, do what they ask you to do. Again, there's nothing wrong with being obedient to the law. Now, if they ask you to do something that's completely disrespectful and it brings you out of your square or your comfort zone, me personally, is within your rights to ask who, what, where, and why. So, and that's just knowing your Constitution. I would tell everybody to brush up on your Constitution, because in these next couple of years, things are going to get very serious, be it black, white, or whatever. But this is the things that you need to know to brush up on for the future. And also teach your kids, man. I've always said, the more we educate the children, that following generation can do better than what we did. We're trying to put them in a better situation than we're at. So, back to my talking points. The race issue, like I said in the beginning, is not really an issue. We've cohabitated for so long, and I feel like, you get tired of people, man. You get tired of people. If you wake up and you eat, let's say, a strawberry donut. You eat a strawberry donut every day for about 2 years. One day, just out of the clear blue sky, you're going to stop eating strawberry donuts. You got used to having that. You see what I'm saying? So it's a thing of, all right, we're used to being around each other. We're used to cohabitating an area, be it work or sports or something of that nature. What would be so wrong? And I present this question to who's ever listening or, so happen to take a look at this episode. What would be so wrong with making black people depend on themselves to have their own wealth, to have and manage their own families, to have and manage their own businesses? What would be so wrong with that? I found in our country that, with black people, it's so hard to build and maintain. Because it's easy to build. It's easy to put things together and make things happen for yourself. But it's harder to keep and maintain and keep moving forward with such as a business, But again, like I said, the strength in numbers. If you keep us divided and if you keep us fighting each other and at each other's necks or throats, this is what you get. Me personally, I have no problem with white people. I have no problem with Hispanics, Asians, Jews, whatever. Whatever you want to throw out there, I have no problem with it. I think now is the time that black people start stepping up. Let's come up off the welfare. Let's come up off the BS. And that's not a knock against nobody. If you need it to get over the hump, then you do what you got to do. But if we come up off of all these government-assisted programs and we start relying on each other and we start building that fucking generational wealth, not stuff that you can have in your lifetime. It may not, your fruits of your labor may not be shown in your lifetime, but you're passing it on to the next generation who will vastly benefit more than us. And I think that is where the 75% segregation come in. I'm gonna leave you on this note, and just for as far as a community goes, things we need to focus on. One of these things I believe is having our own hospitals, having our own police force, having our own grocery stores, and having our own schools. I think the last one is most important. We got to teach our own kids, because these, what I like to call indoctrination camps that we send our kids to, are fucking horrible. And again, that's just one of the 4 that we genuinely need to build our community and rely on ourselves. So I would challenge anybody to tell me a black community that has those 4 things to, again, move the ball up the field. That I would challenge you for that, you know. But I'm JP the Outlaw. I'm going to go ahead and get up out of here. I want y'all to have a great day. I would like to do another episode, probably another week or 2, something like this, in the frame in which we set it in, okay? So, everybody be cool, be safe, and, take care of each other. That's all I got to say to that. All right.